All right, so um, we've got a really, like, a big one to unpack today.
Yeah, huge.
100 Years of Solitude. Like the Netflix series.
The book, the legacy. I mean, where do we even begin with this one?
Okay, so first things first. December 11th, 2024.
Mark your calendars, folks.
That's when Netflix is dropping this new
It's a
series
big deal.
based on, obviously, Gabriel García Márquez's, like, iconic novel.
Right. One of the most important works of magical realism ever written.
Yeah, and, like, adapting this thing it's no small feat.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean,
Even the
even seasoned critics are like
the Hollywood Reporter, they're comparing this to.
yeah, to Station 11.
Remember how that had a kind of a rough start?
Oh, totally.
A lot of people were skeptical,
Hmm.
but then, it ended up being amazing.
It found its groove, so.
So yeah, high expectations for this one.
We've got, like, a stack of reviews and just, like, insights to unpack here, so
Let's dive in.
let's dive in. I mean, this is no ordinary book we're talking about.
No, this is 100 Years of Solitude.
Yeah, it's a literary
Landmark. I mean, Garcia Marquez, magical realism. It's like
a cornerstone of
a cornerstone of Latin American literature. I mean,
yeah.
really a high point for magical realism in general.
And Netflix is giving us 16 episodes for this.
16.
That's a lot.
So clearly they're not just trying to, give us the Cliff's Notes version.
Right. This is a deep dive.
This is a
A
commitment.
commitment to
Really exploring this world.
exploring Macondo.
Yeah, Macondo.
All right, so let's jump into some of these reviews.
Okay, yeah.
First up, The Guardian, Jack Seal.
Okay.
He acknowledges, like, the beauty and ambition of the series.
I mean, how could you not? It's visually stunning.
But he does raise some concerns about how the show kind of handles the more challenging themes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
especially, like,
In 100 Years of Solitude.
100 Years of Solitude is not.
It doesn't shy away from anything.
Yeah.
That got incest, violence, all the heavy stuff.
The complexities of its sexual politics.
Yeah, and that's really delicate territory.
Wow.
How do you translate that to the screen without
Yeah, without being
exploitative or
exploitative.
sensationalizing it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how did they navigate those
Right.
those sensitive aspects?
Yeah, while
Still being true to the
source material.
source material.
Yeah, it's a tightrope walk.
Okay, so then we have the Hollywood Reporter,
Okay.
Daniel Feinberg.
Uh-huh.
He calls this series a worthy and admirable capper for a year.
Oh, interesting.
For a year that was, like,
Packed with book adaptation.
packed with book adaptation.
So it's like it's the grand finale.
Yeah, he was really captivated by those first 5 episodes,
Uh-huh.
especially, like, the visuals.
Yeah, the visual.
But he did admit that the story kind of lost him somewhere in that second half.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's like it starts strong, but then
it loses maybe it loses some steam,
loses momentum.
momentum. Yeah,
Okay, so we've got one critic who's concerned about, how they handled the sensitive stuff, and another who's like, initially captivated, but then loses interest.
yeah, and it's interesting because, like, they both highlight the visuals.
Oh, that is interesting.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
Time magazine, Judy Berman.
Okay.
She raved about
She
them.
loved it.
She raved about the visual spectacle.
Oh, wow.
And she was really impressed with how the directors, like, captured both the substance
Okay.
and spirit of the book.
So not just like, a pretty surface.
But no, like, they got
They got the depth.
the depth.
They're the soul of it.
She specifically mentioned that it was
Yeah.
an all-Colombian production
Oh, wow.
cast, family bliss,
Oh, that's amazing.
which, like, adds this layer of
Authenticity.
authenticity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want the people who,
hear the story.
who understand the culture
Yeah.
to be involved.
So that's really interesting.
It is, yeah, and it makes sense.
Right. I mean, to bring, like, Macondo to life,
Yeah.
it requires some serious, like, artistry.
Right, like it's not just any old town.
Right.
It's a place that's steeped in myth and history and magic.
Okay, so speaking of capturing the essence of the book,
Yeah.
let's shift gears to the book itself
Okay.
and look at a 1970
Wow, 1910.
New York Times review.
Right, back in the day.
Imagine, like, reading this brand new
Yeah.
when it first came out.
I know, it must have been mind-blowing.
So Robert Keeley, the reviewer,
Yeah.
he focused on the book's this unique blend of like enchantment
Right.
and reality.
It's not just pure fantasy, right?
No, man.
It's grounded in real human experience.
He described like this journey
Oh, yeah.
through the jungle
But jungle scenes are so
with such vivid prose
vivid. Yeah.
that you can practically feel like the humidity
Oh, I know.
and hear like the rustling leaves.
Yeah, it's like you're right there with them.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
And he wasn't the only one who was like captivated by those descriptions.
I mean, it's
He even compared the narrative structure to like a magician's trick,
oh, interesting.
where like memory and prophecy are all intertwined.
Yeah, time is all messed up in that book.
Blurring those lines between like illusion and reality.
Yeah, yeah.
And he found the characters utterly
I
captivating.
mean, they're unforgettable.
Like Jose Arcadio Buendia,
Jose Arcadio, yeah.
who like tries to photograph God.
Oh, yeah, right.
Pull on.
Classic.
That's the magic of Garcia Marquez, right?
Yeah.
He takes these like historical events and these myths and legends.
Yeah. And he weaves them together with these like fantastical elements.
Right.
And he creates this world that's like totally enchanting, but also like deeply human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can relate to these characters.
So now the question is, like, how do you adapt such a
complex and nuanced work for the screen?
Right. It's a big question.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to capture the essence of like the magical realism.
Magical realism.
The intricate
the family dynamics.
Yeah. And its exploration of like
love,
loss,
cyclical nature of history.
It's a lot to pack in.
So, okay, we've got these glowing reviews of like the visuals, some concerns about like the pacing and potentially controversial content.
Right.
And then a reminder of like the books.
Yeah.
Literary.
OS. Like this is a serious work of literature.
What does this all mean for someone who's like considering watching this series?
Right. Well, I think it really depends on like what you're looking for, you know? Like, are you a diehard fan of the book and you want like a super faithful adaptation?
Right.
Or are you, you know, more open to like a looser interpretation?
Yeah.
Something that captures like the spirit of the novel.
A vibe.
Your
vibe. Maybe makes it a little more
accessible.
Yeah.
For a wider audience.
Because, I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
16 episodes.
Yeah.
It can't possibly capture everything.
No way.
From like a 400-page novel.
No, there are going to be choices made.
Right.
Storylines condensed, characters like combined.
Combined, yeah.
You know, it's just the nature of adaptation.
Exactly. And then there's the question of like how they handle those more challenging aspects.
Yeah, the incest.
The violence.
I mean, these are things that are like central to the book, but they're also they're tough.
They're heavy.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
So, you know, are they portrayed with like sensitivity, nuance, or do they like risk overshadowing the deeper themes?
The message, like the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
It's a really fine line.
Yeah.
Between staying true to the source material, and potentially like, you know, alienating viewers, who might find that stuff disturbing or triggering,
yeah, it's a tough one.
So, okay, would you watch it?
That's a good question.
Read the book first.
I mean, personally, I'm kind of leaning towards watching the series first.
Okay.
I mean, the visuals just sound too good to pass up.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to see how they've interpreted the story. You know, like what choices did they make? How did they, you know, bring these characters to life?
Right.
But I also totally get, you know, the value of reading the book first.
Yeah.
Because you get that pure, like unfiltered Garcia Marquez experience.
You form your own visuals.
Yeah, your own visuals, your own interpretations, and you get to like really savor the language. Which is, you know, a huge part of the book's magic.
Maybe the best approach is like both.
Oh yeah.
Like watch the series and then dive into the book.
I like that.
So you can like compare and contrast.
Yeah.
See how the filmmakers like adapted the story.
Right.
And then, form your own, like, opinions about the choices they made.
Yeah, it's like, you get two different layers of the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, I mean, that's always richer.
So, okay. Big decision.
Big decision.
About both. But ultimately, like, what is it about this story?
Yeah.
100 Years of Solitude.
Yeah.
That, like, keeps people coming back decades after.
Decades, yeah. It was published.
It's timeless, I mean, it's about love. It's about loss. It's about family. It's about, searching for meaning.
Right.
In a world that often feels...
Chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unpredictable.
And let's not forget, like...
Oh, yeah. The magic.
The magical realism.
Yeah, like the ordinary and the extraordinary, just like...
coexist.
Side by side.
Side by side.
It's just, it adds this layer of like wonder and enchantment that like draws you in.
It's hypnotic.
Yeah, it's a unique blend of like realism and fantasy.
Realism and fantasy.
That creates this world that feels familiar but also
totally magical.
Yeah. So whether you, watch the series, read the book, or do both, it's clear that 100 Years of Solitude is a journey.
It is a journey.
Worth taking.
Absolutely.
Into a world where, like, time bends. Butterflies signify love.
Butterflies.
And the impossible. Becomes possible. It's a wild ride.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into 100 Years of Solitude.
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay. Always appreciate a little
food for thought.
Yeah.
As you embark on your own, like 100 Years of Solitude journey, think about its legacy,
Oh. Right.
Like how has this novel influenced other works of literature, film, art?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and how does it continue to speak to us today in a world that often feels, as chaotic and unpredictable as Macondo itself?
Ooh, those are
thought-provoking questions.
Questions to ponder.
Yeah. And on that note,
thank
you for joining us.
Thank you.
On this deep dive. Into 100 Years of Solitude.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving.
Deep. It's going to be really cool to see like how those two experiences kind of play off each other.
Yeah.
Like, you watch the series and then you read the book and you're like, oh, I remember that scene, but now it's
different.
It's different, yeah. Because now I'm picturing it, based on what I saw on screen.
It's almost like you get two different versions of the story.
Yeah, two different perspectives.
Yeah, exactly.
And neither one is necessarily better than the other.
Right.
It's just they're both enriching.
They complement each other.
Yeah, they complement each other, exactly.
I'm really curious to see how they handle some of those like really surreal moments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the rain of yellow flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Or the character who ages backwards.
Oh, my God.
Those are the things that are like seared into my brain.
I know, right?
From reading the book.
They're so vivid.
And I want to see like how they translate that.
Yeah, how do you even begin to capture that visually?
Right.
It's got to be a challenge.
It's a testament to like García Márquez's writing that
oh, absolutely.
Those images are just so powerful.
I know.
Even like years later, they're still so clear in my mind.
Yeah, it's like he painted them right onto your brain.
Speaking of García Márquez's writing, one thing that really struck me in that New York Times review was how Keeley, the reviewer, he talked about the book's ability to make even the most like fantastical events feel believable.
Yeah.
He called it a triumph of imagination over improbability.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Which I thought was just like...
It's so true.
It's so true.
Like, he doesn't just, throw these random magical things at you. He weaves them into the fabric of the story so that they feel, like, organic.
Like they belong.
Yeah. And it's like the characters themselves, they don't even question it. It's just part of their reality.
So then, as a reader, you're kind of like...
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess this is just how things work in Macondo.
Right, I'll just go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes it so much easier to suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the ride.
And I think that's a big part of like why this story continues to resonate with people. Like across generations.
It's timeless.
It reminds us that like there's always more to discover. Yeah. More to experience.
More to wonder at.
Yeah. Even in a world that can feel like kind of mundane sometimes.
It's like a reminder to keep your eyes open.
You know, to look for the magic in the everyday.
It's a celebration of imagination and storytelling and myth-making.
And the power of stories to transport us.
To take us to another world.
Yeah, to another world.
Which is, I mean, that's what we're all about here.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so to wrap things up. Yeah. It seems like we're both pretty excited.
Oh, yeah.
To embark on this.
This 100 Years of Solitude.
100 Years of Solitude adventure.
Yeah.
First through the Netflix series and then through the book itself. The book and it's really a testament to like the power of Garcia Márquez's storytelling.
Oh yeah.
That it can be experienced in so many different ways.
Yeah, and each one offers something unique.
Totally. And as we said earlier, regardless of how you choose to experience 100 Years of Solitude.
Whether it's the series, the book, or both. We hope you'll take some time to think about the story's legacy.
Yeah, its impact on literature, on art, on culture.
And how it speaks to you.
Yeah,
personally.
On a personal level.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, share your thoughts.
So feel free to reach out to us on social media.
Yeah, or leave a comment on our website.
And until next time, dear listeners.
Yeah, until next time.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.